Everyone, am I audible?
Yes.
Let's see the first question of the day. Tropical cyclones are largely confined to South China Sea, Bay of Bengal, and Gulf of Mexico. Why? So we have discussed about the naming of tropical cyclones. This is about the reason why tropical cyclones are confined to particular area. Take 5 minutes and give the important points. Yes, Rajni. Yeah, the framework is right. Yes. Basically, what the examiner is indirectly asking you people is, what are the conditions required for the formation of tropical cyclones? So hence you have to establish those conditions which are required for formation of tropical cyclones. And then you have to indicate the latitudes where these conditions are basically found in abundance. And then conclude saying that the three areas, that is Mexico Bay, coast of Mexico, Bay of Bengal, and South China Sea, all these particular geographical areas fall in the same latitudes. That is, to be precise, it is around 10 to 30 degrees latitudes. So in these latitudes, these conditions are seen, and hence these tropical cyclones are there. Clear? So yeah. So basically, the question is about tropical cyclones. Okay, and why they are located in particular areas. Okay, why they are located in particular areas. Just give me a minute. Yeah. So what is this tropical cyclones? Why they are confined to particular areas? Okay, in the introduction, you can write about what is a tropical cyclone. Everyone knows what is a tropical cyclone. So write about it. Like, what is a tropical cyclone? Basically, it is a low pressure disturbance. Okay, it's a low pressure disturbance which is turbulent in nature. Okay, it's a low pressure disturbance which is turbulent in nature, and it occurs over oceans in tropical waters. Okay, and then it is accompanied with huge rainfall and very violent winds. Is it the description which you agree for tropical cyclone, or you have something else? Agreed, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Agree, sir.
So you have to mention basically in the body. First thing is conditions for formation of tropical cyclone. So what are the various conditions which are required? So large water body, relatively high temperature, that is greater than 27 to 28 degrees Celsius. Okay. Then low pressure, as we said in the introduction, low pressure buildup. Okay. And then Coriolis force, and then disturbances. So these are the important parameters which are required for the formation of tropical cyclones. Okay. And then you can say these conditions are generally available between latitudes 10 degrees to 30 degrees. Okay. So these conditions help in lifting of water and then precipitation. Okay. So then you can come and say, you can maybe draw a diagram, like what are the three areas they are asking you. They are asking you the coast of Mexico, Bay of Bengal. So Mexico is in South America. Sorry, Mexico is in the bottom of North America. So coast of Mexico means it's between the Mexico and South America. So just draw the North America, South America. This is all Gulf of Mexico. Then the next thing they are asking you is Bay of Bengal. So India will be somewhere here. Okay. Not so high, but somewhere here, Bay of Bengal. Okay. Bay of Bengal. So you can draw the line like this and draw a line like this, and then South China Sea. This is South China Sea. You can say that all the three are in the same latitudes, that is 10 degree to 30 degree. So hence this area is prone to tropical cyclones. See, because the content, I know 90% of you will write same content, including myself. So the only way of value addition is through diagrams, and then name this diagram figure 1, latitudes of tropical cyclone. And then you can say, based on figure 1, that is coast of Mexico, Bay of Bengal, and South China Sea are falling in the broad latitudes of 10 to 30 degrees, hence seem to be more prone to tropical cyclones. Okay. Okay. Then in the conclusion, you can say the areas where tropical cyclones occur are mostly inhabited, hence they tend to cause huge destruction to men and material. However, they weaken on their arrival onto the land. Fine. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes, sir.
See, for geography, there is not much I can add with regard to the content. Let's be clear, because whatever I am writing, 90% of you, or in fact 100% of you will be writing whatever I am writing. Maybe 1 point up, 1 point down. That much only. Even from last 15 questions also I've been observing your answer sheet. So most of you are having good content with regard to geography. Even if you're reading just before the examination, it is fine. So content is there. With regard to geography, I am again repeating, please concentrate on only this part, that is presentation. Try to draw figures, diagrams. It will fetch you that extra half mark. That will be very much sufficient with regard to geography. Good. Yes. Yes, continental disturbance. This is very good. How much time did you take, Rajni, to draw this?
Around some 30-40 seconds, sir.
In 40 seconds, you could draw this.
Yes, sir. I had practiced it a lot.
Okay, good. So then you try to mark like this. It will be coming very good that you know the latitudes. Okay. Latitudes are important. Even in south, 10 to 30, if you take this as an equator, 10 to 30 in north, 10 to 30 in south. You can do like that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Good. Very good answer. This is very impressive. You will get definitely half to 1 mark extra for this effort. Because writing these points, I am sure everyone will be writing this. But this diagram is making very clear. And to make it much more clear, if you can do this marking of latitudes, it will be really good. Clear? Fine. See
Yes,
the
sir.
18th question. Discuss the concept of air mass and explain its role in macro climate change. Yeah. Yes. You need to mention what is the role in climate, precipitation, temperature, drought, and cyclone. Introduction of air mass. And in this question, the only challenge most of you will obviously face is remembering the technical definition of air mass. Okay. But then in such questions, because of this factual orientation, you are supposed to bring out the true definition of air mass. Okay. So introduction will obviously be definition of air mass. So what is an air mass? It is basically a large volume of air in the atmosphere at uniform temperature, right? So this is the definition of air mass. Okay. It is large volume of air in atmosphere at uniform temperature. Okay. Sometimes uniform pressure, and obviously sometimes some moisture. So this you have to remember. There is no alternative to remembering the definition of air mass for this particular answer. Okay. Then in the body, you'll write, how does an air mass form? Okay. So it actually forms over a continent or it forms over a ocean over a sufficiently long period of time. And based on this, they are further classified as continental air masses. Okay, continental air masses or maritime air masses. The ocean are called maritime air masses. So further, if you see the question, they are asking you the concept of air mass and explain its explain its role in macro climate conditions. It's a 200-word answer. So obviously you have to mention what are the various types of air masses. So we know there are around 4 or 5 types of air masses. One is continental polar air mass, then maritime polar, then continental tropical, maritime tropical, then continental Arctic. So these are different types of air masses. Okay. So basically very easy to remember, you know, polar region, tropical region. So continental, maritime, there are 2 types of air masses, continental, maritime, and then in the Arctic region, it is continental Arctic. Okay. So you just mention them. If you can write 2 or 3 lines about it, about each and every air mass, it is really good. But in this question, even if you don't write these categorizations, you will still be not looked down by the examiner, because they are mainly focusing on the concept of air mass. Okay, but if you want, you can write, for example, the continental polar air mass. Okay, it is basically in the polar region such as Siberia. Okay, it has, obviously, because it's a polar air mass, it has low temperature as well as low moisture in the polar region. So coming to the maritime polar, again, because of polar, it has low temperature. Okay, but then it's a maritime, so oceanic air mass. It's an oceanic air mass. Okay, and then coming to continental tropical. So tropical means obviously the temperatures will be high. So when compared to the polar air masses, the tropical air mass will be of more in temperature, and it comes over the continent. So it has more moisture content. It doesn't have, in fact, moisture content, but it has more of temperature. So your temperature is more. And when it comes to maritime tropical air mass, the temperature is more. And because it's coming from the waters of tropical region, the moisture content is more because of the water vapor content. And finally, the continental Arctic air mass, it comes from the poles. So the temperature is low, and also there is no water vapor. So these are the characteristics of air mass. If you can write 1 or 2 words or lines, even if what I am writing like shortcuts like this, if you can write, it will give a very good picture to the examiner that not only the air mass definition, you know, which you have written in introduction, in body you are writing different types of air masses. Now coming to the role. So if you want, you can draw a diagram of showing various continental and maritime air masses, again with a world map. You know, it's a very good way of presenting the air masses. So role in, what is the question? Macro climate. Role in macro climatic changes. Okay, what is its role in macro climatic changes? So what is the role? Basically, they are helpful in temperature, maintaining the temperature of the earth. Okay, they maintain the temperature across regions, not only because you can see that there are so many air masses. So across regions, they maintain temperature. That is the first thing. Okay, and they cause cyclones, or also they cause droughts. Okay, because of the pressure, because of the temperature, and because of the water vapor content, they have the power to power to influence cyclones and droughts. Okay, because they influence the, why it comes, because they influence the precipitation. So they influence the rainfall, and hence they can influence the cyclones and droughts, especially the tropical air masses. Especially the tropical air masses have greater say in the rainfall. And as we have seen, cyclones are also basically confined to 10 degrees to 30 degrees. And hence the cyclones are also depending on the masses, air masses, and thereby also on the drought. Okay, so basically in the conclusion, you can say air masses like ocean currents are spread over, okay, various regions and are significant geological phenomena which influence climatic patterns across the world. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good definition. Good. Okay, you explained the air masses. Siberia, Greenland. Good. Good. No water vapor. Good. Okay, even this effort is good, I will say. Okay, definitely good. Something is better than nothing. So definitely good attempt to draw the diagram. Okay, no doubt about it. Role in macroeconomic changes, aridity, precipitation, cyclones, heat balance. Yes, this is also good. They maintain the heat balance. Okay, the aridity is a drought, precipitation. Okay, good. Okay, good answer, Shanta Prasad. See the third question. What do you understand by the phenomena of temperature inversion in meteorology? How does it affect weather and habitats of the place? Inversion in meteorology. How does it affect weather and habitats? So three subparts for the question. The first part is obviously asking about what you understand by temperature inversion, the first part, okay, and its impact on weather, and its impact on, first is the impact. Okay, so first in the introduction for temperature inversion, there is a standard diagram. What is basically temperature inversion? In troposphere, okay, in troposphere, which is the first layer from the ground of Earth, as the ground increases, till what point I was audible?
Yes, sir.
To what point I was audible? Up to what point I was audible?
Only the
Before I
introduction, sir.
Okay, fine. So general, now is it audible? Clear?
Yes, sir.
So basically in the troposphere, the standard phenomena which we experience is as we go up with the height, the temperature decreases. But in temperature inversion, as we go up with the height, the temperature tends to increase. And generally, this is a phenomena which is experienced in stratosphere. But with regard to temperature inversion, in troposphere also, we are trying to experience these kind of phenomena. So you can draw a standard diagram which everyone will be knowing. Just warm air, cold, colder. This is height. This is temperature. This is normal times. With temperature inversion, it will be cold, warm, cold. So this is the inversion we are talking about. So this is temperature, this is height, this is during inversion. So this is called temperature inversion. Okay. So this is the phenomena. So that will be your introduction. In the body, what is they asking? Okay. Basically, this temperature inversion, it is not an everlasting effect. It is not an everlasting effect. It is a short-lived effect. This is a short-lived effect. So they are asking you what are the conditions favorable for temperature inversion. So basically, what do you think when suddenly there is a cold wave which is coming at the bottom of the troposphere? Obviously, it should be a season which is supporting the cold atmosphere. So it should be winter nights. Winter nights. And if you know, it should be a clear sky. Why clear sky? If it's a cloudy sky, clouds will reflect the long wave radiation and the earth will tend to be warmer on the cloudy day. Okay, the warmness will be increasing, but on the clear sky, the radiation back from the earth is high and hence the immediate layer near the troposphere becomes cold. Okay, and then the area near the surface, should be dry. The moisture content should be less. Moisture should be less. And also the wind movement should be very slow in nature. Fast wind movements will not support these kind of temperature inversion. So these are the conditions which are favorable. Write the conditions, write 1 or 2 lines about these conditions. So that will be finishing your first part of the answer. The second part of the answer is effect on weather. Effect on weather. What is the effect on weather during this time? The first thing is the formation of frost. What is frost? Frost is nothing but it is like the cold air getting condensed. The cold air gets condensed and it goes below the freezing point. It goes below the freezing point and forms frost. Okay. And basically, what is the effect of frost? It damages crops. Damages crops like coffee plantations, wheat plantations, and so on. Next, it also forms fog. There is a difference between fog and frost. Fog is also called as low-lying cloud. Okay, it is a low-lying cloud. Okay, and then because it's a cloud, it has tiny drops or droplets of water. Okay, and when this fog mixes with pollutants like sulfur dioxide or nitrous dioxide, it becomes a smog, which is harmful for respiration and causes other health hazards. Okay. And then this particular temperature inversion influences the rain also. How does it influence rainfall? Basically, the movement, the vertical movements of the air are influenced, and thus the rainfall is influenced. That is another aspect. And now, next part of the question is, what are the effects on habitations? So basically, what is the side effect is smog, pollution, cancer causing, and issue with fog, low visibility, causing accidents between vehicles in the morning. We have seen that in areas like Noida or Gurugram also. Okay. And then in valleys, extremely cold temperatures. Okay, extremely cold temperatures. So that is another side effect. Okay. Issue on air traffic issue. Okay. And then this smog sometimes becomes photochemical smog because of influence of sunlight onto the smog. So all these are the issues, and then conclude by saying, though this phenomena is short-lived in the local weather conditions, it influences the weather and habitants very severely in some cases. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So both only have written. I think Navya has given one answer. We'll see Navya's answer later. Yeah, this diagram is good. This is a standard diagram. Okay. Here, explain this. Rajni?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, good conclusion.
So since it was just 150 word answer, that's why I just wrote the point and left it.
Okay, but at least you can write some important terms with regard to that.
Okay, sir.
Because in this type of answers, the more informative or more holistic you are, the better marks you will get. That's all. See, same diagram again. So the diagram is same. Everyone knows it. Okay. So avoid this, Shanta Prasad. Don't write like this. Don't write in a congested way. You can take this down. Okay. It looks very ugly.
Okay, sir.
So yeah, like one, see how Shanta Prasad is written. This 1-2 lines you can write, Rajni.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, good effects. So you have combined weather and habitants. It's okay, no problem. Even that is fine. If you want much better way of presentation, you can do weather and then habitants. That breakup is also good, but no complaints. It's a good answer, no problem.
Okay, sir.
Okay. See the last question. Discuss the meaning of color-coded weather warnings for cyclone-prone areas given by IMD. Okay, it's a straightforward, again, a factual question. You can see that these kind of factual questions are coming off late. So be prepared for it. Yeah. Yeah, basically, as you all know, this question is about the color codes. So we all know there are 4 standard color codes: green, yellow, orange, and red, based on the intensity of the disaster, especially the cyclone. Yeah, yeah, very clear. Green means no risk. So see, fine. So what is the question about? Discuss the meaning of color-coded weather warnings for cyclone poor areas given by IMD. So it's a straightforward question. They are asking you meaning of color codes by IMD. Okay. So basically, you can, in the introduction, you can write color codes for cyclones. They are asking you cyclones, right? Yeah. So you can say Indian subcontinent, okay, because it is prone to cyclones either in its east coast or in the west coast because of presence of water bodies on 3 sides. And most of the cyclones, okay, most of the cyclones are, striking during the time of August to December. You can say that. And in the body, you can say IMD is the nodal agency in deciding, in knowing the cyclones, in tracking the cyclones. IMD is the nodal agency, and it has come out with various color codes to notify and manage these cyclones. Notify and manage. Apart from naming, color codes are given by IMD. Naming is a regional association, as we have seen in the last class. Okay, the first code is the green code. Okay, what is the green code? Basically, green means no risk. Okay, yellow means be aware, cautious, like our signals only. Orange, be prepared. And finally, red is be alert and take action. Be alert and take action. So these are the 4 codes which the IMD has given. Okay, if the cyclone alert, okay, is green, that means that particular area is not affected by the disturbance of cyclonic winds or cyclonic waters. If the alert is yellow, so basically based on the intensity and the movement of cyclone, based on intensity of the cyclone and also the movement of the cyclone, the IMD will start giving these color codes. That, like, for example, an area can be initially green, can then turn into yellow, orange, and red. So the same area can go through these phases based on the cyclone movement. So it's not that once area is declared green, it will be green, not like that. So based on that movement, for example, yellow means they will give at least sufficient time, at least some 48 hours they declare before that this Please be aware. And then orange will come between 24 hours, 48 to 24 hours. And finally red, it comes in 12 hours. So this again, movement is based on the cyclone movement. So some areas may be green and then they may be green only. Some areas may come up to orange and stay up to orange. Some areas may transform from orange to red. All these based on the movement of the cyclone. Okay, so based on the level of color codes, the local administration will try to take measures like pulling up NDRF, movement of people to highland areas, or movement of people from prone areas. Okay, and then protecting people from high winds, then property protection, etc. Right? So that is the thing. Okay, so in the conclusion, you can write the cyclone monitoring mechanism has improved significantly over last 5 to 10 years, including the modeling of cyclones. Today, we are in a much better and preparedness is ensured in handling the cyclones. Along with the names, the color codes can go a long way in achieving no life loss and minimal property loss. Zero property loss impossible, so minimal property loss during cyclones. Clear?
Yes.
Sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, audible.
Yes, sir.
The connection seems to be not stable today. This is a very colloquial way. No risk is the exact way to write that. All is well is not correct. Orange or amber, and then finally, you have not mentioned red. You mentioned red? No, red. Again, you have written here. Yeah, red. Okay. Take action of these. Yeah, basically it is on probability of occurrence. Okay, you write few more points, Navya, as we discussed. Few more points as we discussed, and you can give any examples if you have. Okay. So is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So tomorrow, I'm slightly preponing the class. You will get the questions beforehand. Okay, I've requested Vijay to send the questions beforehand. It will be at 5:30. Okay. So the session will be from 5:15 to 6:15 tomorrow. Slightly, I'm preponing the class because I have some other important assignment. So the questions will be posted by 9 or 10. So you can submit them before 4 or even 5. Okay. So we'll meet at 5:15 tomorrow. Okay. Good night.